It has been over 16 months since I've been race ready. Over 16 months since I've done a half Ironman, and I'm so proud to say that over the weekend, I had the privilege and opportunity to do so, and this is my race review. Enjoy.
This is life. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is the real deal. We only get one shot at this. I challenge you to live your life with audacity, with passion, with purpose. Figure out what it is that you want in your life and don't stop until you get it.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Ryan Celestine, and the last 16 to 18 months of my family's life has been absolutely crazy. You know, just normal life experiences like having a new baby, quitting my job, woo! And learning how to trade Forex. It's been awesome. I mean, we are truly blessed, but there's been a lot of life changes. In the last 16 months, I haven't been race ready for a triathlon. I haven't been able to race a 70.3, and it's been crazy. Now, the thing about it is my training's been inconsistent. My health has been crazy. Allergies, congestion, all kinds of stuff. In the last 16 months, I've actually paid for 4 races that I wasn't able to race due to scheduling conflicts, due to my health, due to being sick, due to stress, whatever. Again, paid for 4 races, wasn't able to race. Needless to say, I've been contributing financially to the triathlon community. Before we dive deep into the race report, I want to give a shout out to Redman Triathlon and TriOKC. Both of these groups are top notch. They put on great races, and Redman is a fantastic race. If you are 2, 4, 6, 8 hours away from Oklahoma City this time of the year, definitely put Redman on your calendar. Fantastic professional race, and it's affordable. They offer a half distance as well as a full distance, and it's a ton of fun. Race morning, we woke up, it was 58 degrees, it was cool, it was windy, but I was excited about that. Usually, the way the swim goes for me, I start off, I feel like I'm doing great, I'm working really hard, I feel like I'm going fast, and then people are passing me. And then other age groups are passing me. Now, when this happened in the beginning, when I first started triathlon, this made me really nervous and anxious and self-conscious, and I started being like all up in my head. But now, I'm just able to be present in the moment. I don't let that stuff bother me or affect my race. I just stay mentally engaged in what's going on and continue to do the best that I can do.
A few moments later.
Okay, so it wasn't a few moments later. It was literally 44 minutes and 30 seconds. Every time I see a slow swim time, like it literally, it irks me. It's like I'm giving away free time to everybody else. I mean, we're talking, hey, you want 5 minutes? Hey, you want 10 minutes? Here you go. And to be honest, I'm tired of coming out of the water towards the end of the pack. This really shows, 44:30 really shows the lack of consistency, the lack of training, the lack of time in the pool. But it also inspires me and motivates me to be like, okay, look, if you want to get faster, you get to put in the work. So that's where I'm coming from now, and I feel like I'm in a good place for that moving forward. In T1, I took my time. I took the time to get a towel and dry off. I mean, I was wet coming out of the water. It's 58 degrees. I'm going to be on my bike. I didn't want to get cold, so I took a little bit extra time to dry my clothes off before I headed out onto the bike. Now, the bike, it was a little bit chilly. It was also a little bit windy, like 14 mile an hour, and it wasn't bad though. Like, it was manageable. Like, I wasn't cold. I wasn't ever shivering. My feet got cold, but that's kind of something that's normal for me. Something I always get to kind of monitor whenever the weather is a little cool. Now, headed into the race, I didn't know what my bike fitness was. I mean, I had some really good training sessions, had some really good time trials for an hour, but hey, that's an hour. That's not 56 miles. So I didn't really know where I was at as far as my fitness level. So the strategy for me was to ride conservatively into the wind, and then when I had a tailwind, push it as hard as I could. I mean, it seemed pretty logical, seemed like it made a lot of sense, and that's what I did. So right at around mile 20, we had a nice tailwind, and I cranked it. Like, I gave it everything I had, I was all in, I was committed, and I was feeling really good, I was feeling really strong. And I was like, man, I got this. We're going to ride this pace the rest of the day, and we're going to rock and roll. And then at about mile 46, I blew up. My legs were dead. I was gone. No power. Nothing. Nada. Zilch. I was done. Like, I was literally done. My legs were destroyed. And I'm so thankful that we had a tailwind coming back, because that helped me out so much. I mean, I was just like, I was dying out there, dying to get back to the finish. But then the thought came in my mind, like, oh my goodness, like, how am I going to run a half marathon after this? Like, I don't even want to finish the next 9 miles of the bike, let alone run off the bike. I mean, and that's where my mind was going. But fortunately, I was able to stay present. I was able to stay in the moment, focus on the things that I could control, and not even worry about the run. Not even put myself in that state. The thought came, I entertained the thought, and I dismissed the thought, which was really cool and really helpful moving forward. And when I made it back to transition, I was so happy to finally get off my bike and not be on that thing anymore. So once in T2, again, I was exhausted. I sat down, I took my time. I didn't worry about what was going on. I just focused on me, my time, resting, and then got myself together and went out for the run. Now, running out of T2, I felt great. You know, it was amazing. Just a few moments before, when I was on the bike, I was suffering so bad, and now I felt good. I felt excited. I felt energized. I think a lot of that had to do with, changing it up, but also seeing my family, seeing my girls out there cheering for me. It just really, really warmed my heart. But as I'm on the run, now I'm thinking, man, let's see how fast we can push this. Let's see how hard we can go. And I wasn't pushing hard. I felt I was pushing conservatively, and I felt that I was pushing a pace that I could maintain.
You stay over here.
This moment right here is when I got emotional. I was so happy to see my girls. I was so happy to see my wife, my daughters. They're all cheering for me. It really just stirred something inside of me and just made me so happy and so joyful and so proud to be out there racing and then to be supporting me. And it just lit me up. It fired me up, and it felt so good to see them and to hear them, to hear their little voices.
Go, Daddy! You're doing good, baby. Okay.
Now, as the run went on, my speed gradually slowed down, and at about mile 9, I started hurting. Mile 10, I was suffering. Mile 11, 12, 13, absolute suffering. Just like on the bike.
Please, no! 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 No!
So as I was suffering, I realized that I could focus on the things I could control. Like being present in the moment. Like feeling the breeze, feeling the air on my skin, feeling the dampness of my kit, feeling my feet hit the concrete, making sure I'm moving my arms, okay? Engaging as many senses as I could. I mean, even counting, right, left, right, left, right, left. I was doing these things to stay engaged and present to what was going on and not getting distracted by the suffering or wanting to quit or when is it going to be over, am I going to make it, and all the other things that could go onto my head. I was right there in the moment, taking it in as much as I could, and like I said, involving and experiencing all the senses I possibly could. And it worked. It worked. We were able to make it to the finish line. And we were able to run the entire race. I mean, aside from walking the aid stations, but I ran the whole thing. And I'm proud of that. Like, I didn't give in to the desire to walk or quit or stop. I kept going. I kept running. And the things that I was using, the mental things that I applied, it worked. And it felt so good crossing the finish line. I ended up running about a 1:36, and that put me for a total time of around 4:51 overall, and it was a great experience.
Our next finisher we have coming through is Ryan Gillespie from Oklahoma City, from Tulsa, Oklahoma, I'm sorry. He wants everyone to know that he loves his little girls.
Crossing the finish line. After suffering for so long on the bike, 9 miles on the bike, and after suffering for 3 miles on the run, it felt so good and rewarding to cross that finish line. It felt so good to see my wife and to see our daughters. And I felt so much love and peace and joy and happiness in that moment. And I crossed the finish line. I walked over to my wife, and I shared that moment with her. I just looked her in the eyes, and I was tearing up, and I was just so happy and thankful to have been out there racing. That my family supported me. That my girls supported me. You know, and I give God all the glory to be able to do this, to be able to wake up, to be able to move my body, to be able to run, to be able to do these things. I'm so thankful and grateful for the entire process and experience. And thankful to be out there again and to see why I love the sport of triathlon. And something that I've missed for so long, for over 16 months. It was so great to be out there experiencing it once again. I tell you what, it is such an awesome experience to cross the finish line knowing you gave it your absolute best, knowing that there's nothing that you would change or could change in the race. It's such an awesome feeling. It's so rewarding. I think the only other feeling that's better than that is a feeling of knowing that you did everything possible you could in training, that you were consistent, that you showed up, that you put in the work. Because then when race day comes, you have a peace that's just amazing. And I've experienced that a couple times, and it's awesome to show up to a race knowing that you put in all the work. And as my coach likes to say, enjoy your fitness. Okay, so awesome feeling to cross the finish line knowing that I gave it my absolute best. And I look forward to the next race where I know that I did all the work that I could do leading up to the race, and to have that peace and presence and calm during the race. Now, headed into this race, my training was hit and miss, and the consistency just was not there that I wanted. But what I lacked in fitness, I feel like I gained or had strength on the mental side, the mental toughness side. And that was something that has been a huge shift for me over the last 100+ days. So over the last 100 days or so, I've been reading 40 pages a day of personal development books. And I feel it's made a huge impact on my mental toughness. It's made a huge impact on how I see the world. It's just made a really, really big impact on my life. Now, I'm not going to go into some of the lessons that I've learned from these books in this video. If you want to learn what I'm up to, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see what we're up to here. But it's made a huge difference in my life. It made a huge difference in the race. I actually got to apply the things to be present, to be mindful, and not to worry. I was able to not entertain some of the ideas that were going through my head and not be focused all internally in my head, but rather experience the race and enjoy the race. Like I said, this was a long time coming. I'm so thankful and grateful to have had the opportunity to race again, and this particular race has reignited the passion, the fire inside of me, and I am excited to really start getting consistent with my training and continue to chase my dreams. So with that being said, again, my name is Ryan Celestine. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give me a like, and if you want to check out more content that's going to be coming up, like me sharing my triathlon journey, what I'm up to building a trading company, and also some of the resources that I'm utilizing to become a better me, as in personally, as a business owner, as a father, as a husband, be sure to subscribe. So with that being said, again, my name is Ryan Celestine. Have a fantastic day, and keep running your